Shalawama, I'm Dr. Yasapa with Zion Law School. And right now we're going to consider some information that I think is really, really appropriate and important for right now. So anyway, as you can see, the title is Never Trust Your Enemy, okay? This is coming from Sirach 12. Okay, coming from Sirach 12. The link is in the chat if you want to enter this live stream and participate in the reading or in the discussion, whatever you want to do, you're welcome to come in. This should be a short video, okay? Should be very, very short, but there's a reason why I want to go through this video. There's a lot of confusion. A lot of people don't know what to do because of you know why. And I can't say it right now because YouTube may strike my channel. So anyway, let's get into it, okay? The whole idea behind this is to think clearly. First, you have to know who your enemy is, okay? You have to know who your enemy is. I highly suggest that you go to the video that I did on Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 on our YouTube channel. So just check for that. You have to know who your enemy is. Of course, anybody who's not a part of our nation, they're outsiders. So you can consider them as being an enemy, okay? All right, so this is Sirach. We are in the Bible Hub, okay? We're in the Bible Hub. This is Sirach, chapter 12. This is in the Daweh Reams Bible, all right? Okay, so we're not going to consider these first verses. You can read these on your own. I'll let the video pause a little bit right now so you can check it out yourself. And I'll just scroll down slowly, okay? All right, so go ahead, take a look at that. We're going to pick up in verse, let's pick up in verse 4. Okay, let's pick up in verse 4. Okay. Let's pick up in verse 4. All right, so here we are. So here's verse 4. So let's begin reading here. Sirach chapter 12, verse 4. Give to the merciful and uphold not the sinner. Now we have to remember that these are outsiders, correct? So they are not able to what? They're not able to sin because they're not a party to the contract. Therefore, the contract does not apply to foreigners. That cannot be made more clear. They are not part of the contract. So let's continue. The Most High will repay vengeance to the ungodly and to sinners. Okay, so and is a connector, right? Connecting two thoughts. Right? And connects two thoughts. So one thought is the ungodly. Okay, the other is sinners. So what are ungodly? First, this word G-O-D is in fact what? A more recent word, right? It's more of a medieval word, okay? And unfortunately, Shalom, Barbara, good to see you. Shalom, Barbara, good to see you. All right. So I have not seen a Ibaryath translation of this, and I haven't seen it, but I haven't searched a whole lot either. I have not seen an interlinear for this either. But these are set. Hold on. Let me turn it on. Shalom, Barbara. I don't know if you can hear me. All right. So these would be foreigners. So this category could include foreigners, right? And sinners. Okay, so remember, this is not a religious idea when we see this word translated as sinners. That's not a religious idea. Okay. All right.
Version that says, if I could say this, my version actually says the wicked.
Yes, very good. Excellent. Thank you, Barbara. Do you have anything else you want to say about that?
Well, when this is one of my favorite books because it's so full of wisdom. And when I read do not help the wicked, I was like, wait a minute. I thought we were supposed to help everybody, you know? And I had to sit back and think about that.
Where did you get that idea?
And no, you know where that came from. That came from religion, you know,
Yeah.
be all
Old
forgiving and
Testament or
all
New
compassionate.
Testament? Did you get that from Old Testament or New Testament?
The new.
Okay, so what you are identifying are conflicts between the ancient writings and the New Testament. Am I correct?
Yes, and see, what came to me was, you know, why would that, you know, even be said? Well, as far as our people are concerned, what came to me was maybe the Most High may be working behind the scenes to get that person to their rock bottom, so they realize that they have nowhere else to turn but to him. But that's just what came to me.
Yeah,
but I understand what you mean, that these outsiders, these heathens, that we don't have to feel guilty about.
Yeah. Okay, so very good. So the outsiders or the foreigners can fit in this category, right? Quite comfortably. Okay, all right. So let's continue. Give to the merciful and uphold not the wicked. Okay. The Most High will repay vengeance to the, what is this one? How does this one read in your translation, Barbara?
It just says, it doesn't say, it just says wicked.
It just says
that's
wicked.
all it says is wicked.
Okay, so
yeah.
So the Most High will repay vengeance to the wicked and keep them against the day of vengeance. 5. You want to read 5, Barbara?
Sure. Give to the good and receive not a sinner.
Or receive not a wicked person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it also tells us that we have to be careful about who we let into our home.
Yes. So these wicked people would include outsiders, right? Or foreigners.
Yes.
Do not receive a foreigner. Right? Well, we're told that already, aren't we? Don't deal with foreigners.
And also, instead of saying give to the good, mine read help the righteous, but not the wicked. And that's what made me sit back and think. And see, I didn't even understand what a righteous person was according to the Most High until I started reading the Torah and understanding.
Okay, excellent. So when these people are telling us we should put something in our bodies because they want to help us, right? We should keep this in mind. Don't receive a foreigner. Don't receive a wicked person. You see my point without saying it?
Yes, yes, but don't get me started on that.
Okay, so verse 6. Verse 6, do good to the humble and give not to the wicked. Hold back thy bread and give it not to him, lest thereby he overmaster thee. So the essence of this is that when you are being kind to someone who's an outsider, a foreigner, or even an insider who's just wicked, they're going to stab you in the back.
Exactly.
And that makes sense because that's the character of that person, right? That's their character.
Yes.
Okay, so 7. For thou shalt receive twice as much evil. Thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done to him. For the highest also hated the wicked, and will repay vengeance to the wicked. All right. So when these people are asking us to do something, and they're our enemies, it's pretty clear what it's saying here, right? The warning is pretty clear. For thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good you shall have done to him. Right? Participating,
yes, and I can vouch for that from
participating
personal
in their
experience.
thing that they're doing right now. You got to get twice as much evil, illness and death. Do you want to go read verse 8, Barbara?
Sure. A friend shall not be known in prosperity, and an enemy shall not be hidden in adversity.
So these are adverse times for most people right now, aren't they?
Very much so.
Yeah. So an enemy shall not be hidden. That means the enemy is going to be right in your face smiling. Okay. 9.
And it also and also, you know, a friend shall not be known in prosperity.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just have to really be careful about how we throw that word friend around.
Mhm.
Today I see people just throw that word around, and to me a friend is a totally different than an associate.
Usually when you're prospering, most people they'll pretend to be a friend, right? But
Yeah,
they're
you'll
secretly
have
hoping
you'll have
and
more
trying
friends
to
than you
bring you
need.
down. Okay, so 9, let's go to 9. In the prosperity of a man, his enemies are grieved. And a friend is known in his adversity. So in other words, you know who your friend is when you have problems. You don't
That's
know who
right.
your
When you're
friend
down
is.
and out.
Yeah, you don't know who your friend is when you're prospering, right? Because everybody's your friend. Everybody's pretending, or most people are pretending, trying to get something from you, right? Or trying to get close to you to figure out what it is you're doing so that they can sabotage you, right? And then here's the point I wanted to make with this short video. Can you read verse 10, please, Barbara?
Never trust the enemy, for as a brass pot, his wickedness rusteth.
Rusted. Of course, brass does not rust, does it? Does
Correct.
brass rust? I don't think brass rust. I think this is a poor translation. I think
I think so too, because
it's
yeah, I think it's a poor translation,
yeah, it should
because
be.
it might not rust, but it gets that that green tint to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. So it could have to do with that, or it could have to do with what? Showing a relationship. So trust never. Well, let's come back to that. Let's stick on the point that I want to make here. It says never, right? So never.
Yes.
Never trust your enemy. Hold on. So let's look that up. I think our people tend to forget that these people are our enemies.
Well, a lot of our people don't know who they are yet, Dr. Yusapa.
Yes. Shalawama. Nick. I think he bounced out. Come on back in. I think you bounced out. Okay, so here we are, the word never.
Never.
Do you want to present never, Barbara, please?
Sure. Never is an adverb, and it means at no time in the past or future, on no occasion, not ever,
Okay.
and not at all.
Okay, now let's go back to Sirach. So never trust thy enemy. In other words, we can say at no time, at no time. Past, present, or future, on no occasion, not ever trust your enemy. Even when that enemy is saying they're trying to help you or they're trying to save your life, don't trust them. You see it?
Yes.
This means under no condition, no matter what is said, no matter what the circumstances are, don't trust them. Don't trust them. And then it says, for as a brass pot, his wickedness rusts. So how are we to understand this? Could be that as a brass pot builds up, what is that called?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. But you know how pretty it looks, how pretty brass looks when it's all clean and new and looks all pretty and shiny. But then as time goes by, yeah, that's what I was trying to, yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for.
All right, so tarnish, that's the word we want. So as a brass pot tarnishes, right? As a brass pot tarnishes. Now the other thing could be, it could be not brass, but it could just be what? It could be metal.
I think mine said iron.
Copper also tarnishes, right? So I don't know what the Ibaryath word is that they're translating or rendering as brass. You follow me? If it's metal, if it's just a metal or iron, it would be rust, right? But if it's copper
I think
or
mine
brass,
said rust.
yeah, if it's copper or brass, it would be tarnished. But the point is that it begins to what?
Change
state. Yeah, it goes from something nice to something that's deteriorated. Okay, so in other words, if you trust that enemy, he's going to do the same thing to you. It is impossible to avoid because a brass pot will eventually tarnish, right? Or iron pot will eventually rust. So the advice is never trust them. Never know under any circumstance or condition, no matter what they promise. Notice what it says here. You want to read verse 11, Barbara?
Yes, this is I think this is a very important point here. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him. You know, people can, pretend to be so kind, so loving, so compassionate, and in a pitiful state at times. But that's when you better have your eyes open.
That's right, because when they humble themselves and physically make it known that they're humbling themselves, what's the real motive according to what we're discussing here?
There's a hidden agenda.
Yeah, it's to remove your guards, right?
Yeah.
It's to make you remove your guard. So, okay, so go crouching meaning to lower the body stance. Go crouching meaning to lower the body stance, especially by bending the legs. Okay. Shalom, Lewis, good to see you.
Shalom.
Shalom, Lewis.
Shalom.
So the legs are bent. So let's see what images we get for this. Louis, you can go ahead and jump in if you want. So the person is bowing down to you. The person
And
is
you know
bowing
what?
down.
Let me say this, Doc.
Yeah.
I used to, study a little bit about body language, right?
Mhm.
And I read that if you want something from someone, to lower yourself, put yourself physically lower than them. And I actually tried that. I mean, I literally tried it and got on my knees beside this person, and it worked. I got what I wanted.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that psychologically gives them a feeling of superiority.
When they crouch.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So when a person crouches down before you, they're bowing down, right? Making themselves low. And that's meant to disarm you.
That's right. Exactly.
Disarm you.
Because if you're any person that's got any kind of compassion or sympathy or whatever, that's going to automatically make you feel, I have the upper hand. What kind of person am I going to be? Am I going to be a good person and be merciful or whatever? But I think that still goes back to that religion mind frame trick.
So he humbled himself and go crouching. So in other words, he's doing all of these nice things for you in the context that we're talking about without stating it. They're doing all of these nice things for you, offering you free food, offering you free this, a lot opportunity to win a lottery, all of these enticements.
Even money.
Yeah, all of these enticements.
Even money, Dr. Yasapa.
Yeah,
I've heard about checks being offered.
That they're offering. Okay. It says what? Yet take good heed and beware of him. Why? Because he's an enemy. And we should never trust a foreigner. Never, ever, at any time, under no condition, under no circumstances, never trust a foreigner. Do you have anything you want to add to it, Louis, before we continue?
No, I'm kind of just trying to get caught up to where you are. I didn't know you were doing a live until just a minute ago.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, Louis, do you want to read and
we
give
just
your
got
comments?
started.
Okay.
Do you want to read and give your comments on verse 12? This is Sirach chapter 12, Louis.
Okay. Sirach is also
Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus, right, okay. Yeah, Sirach chapter 12.
Verse 12.
Sirach verse 12. Set him not by thee, neither let him sit on thy right hand, lest he turn into thy place and seek to take thy seat, and at the last thou acknowledge my words and be pricked with his sayings.
And be pricked with my sayings. Do you have anything you want to comment on that?
Well, we're talking about an enemy, right? Well,
Yes.
is it a known enemy?
Anyone who's a foreigner, outsider, or anyone who's one of us, but they're not following the Most High's instructions.
Well, that says it all right there. I mean, these people are not to be trusted at all. We don't take them into any confidence that we have, or we don't trust them with any secrets. We don't trust them with any of our family, any of our prized possessions. And it's saying right here in Sirach that that he will seek to take your seat. In other words, he will seek to displace you and take what you possess. If you are the leader or the tribal leader, he will seek to be that in that position. So we don't allow them into our inner sanctum. In other words, we don't take them and treat them like they were family.
Okay, Lewis, I think you should reduce the volume or no, mute your microphone or reduce the volume.
You think it might be? I got my Bluetooth on to my boombox. Could that be it? You want me to cut it off?
If I mute my microphone, will you be able to hear me? I don't think you will you?
Let me put this.
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Scholars, can you hear me?
I can hear you,
you
but
hear
when
me?
I mute my microphone, I don't think you can hear me.
Okay, well, let's continue. Let's see, all right, here we go. So, okay, let's continue. So, set him not by thee, meaning don't have them near, right? Don't have them near these foreigners. Okay, in this context, we're talking about these foreigners. Don't have them on your porch, in your house. Okay. Neither let him sit on thy right hand, as you were also saying, Lewis. Don't let him have any type of authority. Don't have him in a responsible position next to you. Right? Otherwise, well, why not? He will turn into thy place and seek to overtake thy seat. Okay, so we are indigenous people, and he wants the land, and he wants the resources. And they have a history. They have a history of trying to get rid of us through biological warfare, right? And genocide, Planned Parenthood, and everything else. Okay. And using using medicine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to reduce our population. Okay. All right. So here it is right there. Okay. They will seek to take our seat, have our land for themselves, and we're gone, right? But we are so sick that those of us who survive have no chance, right? So that's what it's saying. And you be pricked by my sayings. And then finally, Lewis, do you want to take us through 13, please?
Verse 13. Who will pity an enchanter struck by a serpent, or any that come near wild beast? So is it with him that keepeth company with a wicked man and is involved in his sins. So my analysis of that is, I mean, you wouldn't trust the snake, you know. Why would you come take a snake as a pet? You're gonna get bit. So the same with this wicked man, and you can't partake in his sins. I mean, when he is doing something that is directly out of the will of the Most High, you do not join in for the sake of being, a lot of Yasharala want to be so much like our oppressor. So they've been in and brainwashed into a religion that teaches them to do this. Okay, yeah, I got slapped on the cheek, I'm gonna turn the other side and let you slap me again, and hope
Yeah.
we won't connect this time. But anyway, this is what this is talking about. So,
Okay, did you want to say anything, Barbara?
Yeah, if you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
Yeah, that's exactly, and it says, who will pity? Most High is not going to pity anybody who's playing with, right? This is what it's telling us. Who will pity an enchanter struck by a serpent? Who's going to pity the snake charmer? Nobody, right?
right,
Shouldn't have been
right.
doing it in the first place. He's right. Who's going to feel sorry for him? Most High is not.
Yeah, just like if you know that your neighbor has a vicious dog, you're not going to go out there and try to pet that dog, because if you get bit, you know, you knew better.
Yeah.
You knew better, and you still went and done it. And so, yeah, it's hard to feel sorry for somebody that they knew already and went ahead and done it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not if, but when.
Yeah, Most High is not going to feel any pity for the person who trusted his enemy and now loses his health and or his life. This is what it's telling us, right? Who will have pity? 14. Or in
Okay.
an hour he will, no, let's skip that. Let's go to 15. Lewis?
Okay. Verse 15. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he lieth and wait to throw thee in a pit, into the pit.
Mhm.
In other words, he's just waiting for his turn to, or his time. He's picking his time to slay you.
Right.
And he'll charm you with words that sound
Words.
good.
So in
Yeah.
this case, they're telling our people that what they're asking them to take into their body is going to help them. It's going to help them live, and it's not harmful.
Okay.
Sweet words, right? Speaketh sweetly, sweet words. Take this money, take these prizes, right? Take this free stuff. We're only trying to help you so you don't get sick, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So he's speaking sweet with his lips, but in his heart, he wants us to what?
Die.
Yeah, that's what he wants. And then verse 16, Barbara, please.
An enemy weepeth with his eyes, but if you find an opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Any your comments?
Yeah. Again, is, trying to play on people's emotions. I think a lot of that is going on. Not so much as the crying. Okay, they'll do whatever it takes, to appear to be to get your confidence, I think.
Yeah, so he's
what I'm
weeping
trying to say.
with eyes to disarm you so that you can think he has empathy and cares and is compassionate toward you, and he wants to help you.
Yes.
This is
Thank
again
you.
to disarm you. This is a con, right? Con game, make you trust him, make you think that he cares about you. So he's going to give you this, he's going to give you that, so you can eat, so you can be healthy, right? But what? But if he finds an opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Y'all know what they were doing to people.
Yes.
Right? Y'all know what they were doing to people. Okay. 17. And if evil comes upon thee, you will find him there first. right? So that bad thing, you don't have to worry about who's the cause of it if you pay attention to these verses. That enemy is going to be the cause. All you have to do is search thoroughly, and you will eventually find that enemy. We know who we're talking about.
Can I interrupt just a second? What chapter of Sirach are we in?
Sirach chapter 12.
Chapter 12.
Sirach
Okay.
chapter 12.
Thank you.
18. An enemy has tears in his eyes, and while he pretends to help you, right, will undermine thy feet. In other words, he's pretending to help you, but he's sabotaging you.
He's setting you up for a fall.
Yeah, this is what they're doing right now. Anybody who knows the history of these beings with reference to unum sanctum, Deuteronomy chapter 28, and everything else, right? We know that these beings have no good intention toward us, and they're pretending. The great pretenders, okay? And they want to undermine us so that they can take our land, remove us from history completely this time.
The sad thing is, Dr. Yasafa, is that religion teaches our people. Actually, religion sets our people up just as bad as our enemy. I mean, I hate to say that, but because a lot of our people are teaching this, but it sets you up for the same thing as Sirach is talking about right here, setting you up for, well, don't worry about that. You just pray for them or whatnot. And it's setting you up for disaster.
Remember what the Most High said in the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, right?
Yes.
Remember what he said? He said he is going to hit us with all of the curses, the sicknesses, death, killing, until finally, we quote, this is me saying it, finally until we hit Skid Row, right?
Right.
And want to come back to him. It's just going to get more and more worse. It's going to get more and more worse. This is according to the Mosaic covenant, our contract with the Most High. So here's where we are in the current situation. We have these beings pretending to want to help us. And too many of our people, even those people who are aware of their nationality, they're trusting these people. The same people who have enslaved us, put us in mental bondage, use policy to destroy us mentally and physically, poison us, our water and our food, but yet they're trusting them. So here it is, Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, never trust your enemy, for as a brass pot varnishes, so will he try to harm you. It is inevitable. Or as an iron pot rusts, that's the same as his wickedness toward us. He will try to harm us using what? Humility, gestures of humility, right?
Yes.
Gestures of showing that they care and are concerned. Okay, but the whole purpose of it is to disarm us so that we trust them, so that they can put the knife in the back more easy or in your arm.
Dr.
I
Yusuf, you know, I was listening to you say that even people that supposedly know who they are, those of us that know who we are, but you know, there are so many that are supposedly awakened, but they are not just going by the contract. They take it even further. You know what I mean? They're not sticking to just the contract. So, I mean, if you're not sticking just to the contract, it's easy for you to fall into that trap.
Yep. Like I've heard of one organization telling people that they should take it. I've heard of them. You know. So,
I would like to inform people that in the United States, the Supreme Court has ruled that vaccinated people worldwide.
Barbara, don't say that, because they'll put a strike against my channel or turn it off or shut it down. Okay. So you're muted. So, all right. So I'm sorry to have to do that to you, but I don't want them to shut down the channel. All right. You can unmute it, but don't talk about that. Don't say that word, please. You can unmute yourself, Barbara.
Okay, I apologize.
All right. Okay, so that's really all I had in mind with this video. Unless Lewis or Barbara, you have something else that you want to talk about, I think we can end this. Lewis.
Well, you know, I have what you've witnessed and heard. I've heard also. I've seen videos on leaders of certain groups asking, you know, telling their followers that it was all right. It's okay. You know, it's not this or it's not that. You know, it's just medicine. So anyway, it's these are strange times. It's really strange times.
Really, it really is. It really is. I mean, and what makes me sad is that people, I'm just amazed at how gullible people can be. I mean,
religion's got a grasp on them, Barbara. That's the reason why, you know, that, you know, they wholeheartedly believe. That's why the Most High says you have to turn to him with your whole heart. I mean, you can't half-heartedly turn to him. He's going to reject you. Doctor, you got anything to add to that?
No, I don't have anything else to add to it.
Okay.
So Lewis, can you close us out, please?
Yes, sir. It's please close.
Okay, thank you. All right. So that's going to end this video. I'm Dr. Yasapa. I'm inviting you to our Saturday morning class, which is every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the Curses course, and we go word by word evaluation and analysis of every word in Deuteronomy chapter 28. So everybody's invited. You're also invited to subscribe to the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course on zionlawschool.org. I'm pretty much giving the course away for free. You get for $1, you get 24 hours to take all 113 lessons if you can or if you want to. To subscribe, it's only $10, so that's basically free. The value of the course is at least between $7,000 to $10,000. I could easily ask for that check the prices of Hebrew courses, and you'll have something to compare it to. But it's only $10. Okay, $10 subscription, no contract. You can cancel anytime. All right, so it's basically free. All right, so the links for the course. For that, by the way, the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course is a self-study course, self-study, self-paced course. So it's streaming. You can take it at home, listen to it at work, and it's videos. Okay, so you're not just going to be reading a bunch of documents. And the Curses course is a live course. So you'll come into the classroom, and then it's kind of like what we're doing now, but more in depth, okay, and much more discussion. If y'all have anything to say about it, either one of the courses, you can, or otherwise we can close out now.
I would encourage anybody listening, I mean, for $1, I mean, what can you get for $1 today, really? And the classes are really, really interesting. It's actually life-changing.
I agree, Barbara. It is. It's very eye-opening, and if you study and take heed of what is being taught, it will change your life, and for the better.
Okay, all right. So thanks, Barbara and Lewis, for coming in and participating. These are more fun for me when you guys come in and participate. It's more fun. It's probably better for the people who view the video too. You know, I don't know, but I enjoy it more when people come into the class.
My pleasure. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being in session with you.
I do too. Thank you so much for doing this today.
After
Okay.
we close, could you stand by for a call, Doctor?